Hi guys, welcome to yet another video on the series of video that we are doing for the NPAT examination. So in today's video, we are back with yet another topic. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the common mistakes in grammar that we have to take in mind while preparing for the NPAT examination. So let's get started with the video. So basically, grammar, following the rules of grammar is not just for the examination purpose. So if we follow the usage and the rules of grammar, we make sure that effective communication is taking place. And also in the aspects of from academic to professional settings to personal interaction. So if we use the correct usage and rules of grammar in these settings, we make sure that whatever we are writing has become much more clarity, and the reader who is reading it gets it with a much more enhanced meaning, right? So following the rules of grammar, always keep in mind that following the rules of grammar is not just for the examination purpose, but it is beyond that, right? So if we have a good grammar which serves as the foundation for a clear and coherent communications, right? So whenever we are talking with someone else, when we are following the basic rules of grammar, it ensures that the ideas that we are uh, presenting there are conveyed accurately and in a professional way. So with that uh, introduction, let's look at some of the common mistakes that we commit in the case of grammar. So one of the major areas that we commit mistakes is in the area of subject-verb agreement. So right, so in the case of subject-verb agreement, there is only one thing that we have to take note, which is the general rule regarding subject-verb agreement. So the general rule states that if we have a singular subject, always use the singular form of the verb. If we have a plural subject, always use the plural form of the verb. So always keep this in mind. So the major thing that you have to do whenever you're doing or solving questions related to subject verb agreement is that look for the subject in a given sentence, right? So for example, let's take a look at this sentence given here, which says the team are winning. This is wrong because when we use team, it is a collective noun, right? So whenever you use this collective noun in a sentence, we have to go with the singular form, right? So it should be corrected to the team is winning, right? So always pay attention to the number of the subject and choose the appropriate form, right? Moving on to the next one, which is the very commonly used mistake, right? So much more we can see this in the form of writing, right? So the misusage of apostrophe, right? So apostrophe misuse includes errors in showing possession and also in forming contraction. So for example, we can never write something like this: the cat's toys are on its bed. So it should be corrected to the cat's toys are on its bed, right? So the usage of apostrophes is to show possession and form contraction. So it is not for pluralization. So we have to make sure that we always use apostrophes in the right manner. Now moving on to next one, which is the usage of redundant phrasing, right? So basically this involves using unnecessary words or repeating ideas, which makes writing verbose and less effective, right? So repetition is a very major flaw in our writing in the case of academic and also in the case of professional writing. So when we look at this, for example, when we look at the case of this particular sentence, it says the main point of the research study is summarized concisely and briefly. If you look at this particular sentence, the last two words concisely and briefly actually means the same thing, right? So in situations like this, we don't have to actually repeat the usage, right? So we could actually really say the main point of the research study is summarized concisely. That is enough. So always make sure that to eliminate unnecessary words and phrases for clear and more concise in writing, right? And now moving on to the next one, which is the usage of inconsistent verb tense. So basically, if we have a clear idea of the tenses relating to the present tense, past tense, and future tense, if we have a clear idea of the formation or the form of these tenses, it will be much more helpful whenever we are writing. So verb tense actually indicates the time of an action or state of being in relation to the present, past, and future. So, whenever an inconsistent verb tense occurs, there is an abrupt or unintentional shift between different tenses, right? So, make sure that we always use the correct form of tense whenever we're writing, and also in the case of speaking. So with that, we have come to the end of today's video. I hope that with this video, you got a clear picture of some of the common mistakes that can be committed in the NPAT examination. So with that, we come to the end of today's videos. Thank you guys. Stay tuned for more videos.